Holy shit. What's this, guys? 6.5 billion Soohyun. Oh my goodness. This is unreal, guys. So I almost got 14 billion with the support Sungjin. So yeah, in this video, I'm just gonna share with you guys what I did here, all the adjustments, as well as the full gameplay guide here to maximize the damage of Soohyun. I'm gonna share you guys some of the tricks that I do. Well, this is kind of RNG, okay? This is kind of RNG because Soohyun is like an RNG unit here in the guild boss because she lacks the crit rate, and then her massive skill is on the second skill, which is sometimes very difficult to time with your moon shadow as well as the shadow steps. In this video, I'm gonna share with you guys all of those so that you can apply it to on your runs to improve your chances of getting high damage on Soohyun. So I actually, like, seriously, I was actually not expecting 6.5 billion damage on Soohyun. My estimate was like 6 billion only because I just asked our leader to change the element of the guild buff to fire just so I can achieve that 6 billion, because I know that most of the time I'm gonna get 5.7 billion, but this is fucking unreal. It's over. It's really over, guys. It's really over. And we got here Thomas Andre 2.3, pretty decent. Chahe in, and then Gina 1 billion and almost 1 billion on ACL 687 Goguti. Actually, most of the other units were underperforming. It's just that Soohyun carried this run. Yeah, this is crazy. I'm not sure how much I still need to get rage count 23. Probably I'm almost there, I'm not sure, but we're gonna check later in the replay. I'm gonna show you the replay as well. But before we proceed in this video, just a quick favor, guys. If you love what we do here, if you love the content that we're sharing here, feel free to support me in the SLA content creator program. We are now at 509 supporters. Thank you so much for all the support, and thank you so much most especially to all our top supporters. Thank you so much, Mr. Bombastic, Usopar, Ens, Yuichi, Ryoma Echizen, and all of the NIDs here, and not just the top 10, all the others here who are helping here. Thank you so much. And we still have lots of codes to give away to all our supporters, so in case you still need them, gold, mana power extract, essence stones, weapon enhancements, traces of shadow, all of these I'm gonna send them every day, every few hours. As soon as I wake up, as soon as I take a break, I do send them. So in case you still need them, feel free to support me here. Supporting is free. Doesn't matter if you are free to play, pay to win, you can support here, no problem with that. Alright, so let's go ahead and check the build adjustments first. I'm just gonna show you quickly what happened on all the builds and adjustments I've made here and all the improvements that I've made here since the last video. So first, I want to talk about the strategy here. As you can see, I switched back Hansemi. I did not commit yet to the one where I remove Hansemi because it's kind of like, it's gonna require me to like push a lot of my course, and I still don't have the resources to be able to do that. So I use this lineup for now, and I'm just gonna wait for Kanae because we're gonna get a new guild boss as well, the Ant Queen. So this guild boss will be out once the Ant Queen is here. It's probably gonna be on February, so we still have like a few weeks to prepare for that and try to improve whatever we can. But right now, all my resources are focused on improving and increasing and making my fire team powerful, because that's gonna be the meta. Because once Kanae comes, the fire team's probably gonna be even stronger than it is right now, and we might remove some of the units here. So I'm not sure who we are going to remove here. Probably we can get rid of the light team already and put Chahe in here, and then we're gonna have a full fire team here with maybe Emma or something, I'm not sure, and then we might be able to add Kanae here in team number 1. Alright, so let's go ahead and check it out. Songjin is still gonna be pretty much the same, so we're not gonna spend a lot of time here anymore. I'm still using the Noble Sacrifice plus 4-piece Sylph's Blessing here, and then here are the cores. For the team A, this is what I'm using now on Gina. She is 36k attack with crit rate over crit at 11.4k. Crit damage, defense penetration damage increase there, it's quite high, and then skill levels, and then I'm using Guardian set plus Expert set for DPS. I do have one limit break core here, which is on the one Songjin is using on high int builds, and some temporary cores here for crit rate and additional defense penetration. So for my Isil, she is still not that good yet. I don't have a good grid set yet, so she can still improve a lot. 31k attack only. Usually at this point you should be already at around 33, 34k. So for the fire team, I think the sweet spot for the fire team is around 10k plus over crit, because we don't have crit passives anymore on the fire team. But I don't know, that's just my own personal estimate. Crit damage, defense penetration, damage increase there, and then fire damage. Still using 8-piece grid, and here are the skill levels. And for the cores, just the crit rate, attack percent here. There you go. Just some of the cores that I was using before on Mirai. And then I do have my Soohyun here, which is now a 35k attack with 11.4k crit rate. So I think the crit rate really helped Soohyun's performance here. So I'm running around 11k usually for the full fire team, although I don't know the exact optimal number for the crit rate. And crit damage and defense penetration at 28.8k. So just new information, guys. One Korean tested the calculator, and it turns out that we were off by around 1 or 2% defense penetration. So he tested it and still found increasing damage at around up to 32k or 33k. So BRR will probably fix the calculator and fix the equations for the formula to reflect a more accurate one, but you can still get damage increase beyond 28.750. So it's gonna change, so just stay tuned for the changes in the SLA formulary. Let's just be patient and wait on that. However, don't expect too much increase in damage output even if you do that, because we're also applying defense decrease. You're gonna be fine at 28k still, as long as you can allocate the rest on your other stats. But if you don't have choice, you can increase this to up to 32k or close to 33k, I think. Yeah, we'll just follow up with you guys on that. And then damage increase at 14k and fire damage. So don't focus too much on damage increase, because Soohyun has the passive here that converts penetration to damage increase. So at least this one will help balance things out. 4-piece curse and 4-piece obsidian, and I already maxed out the limit break on all her cores, although this did not really add like a substantial amount. But you're gonna see later how I got the 6.5 billion. It's more like a gameplay and RNG factor than the stats, because if you compare these stats in my previous video, you're not gonna find much improvement. I did this because Kana is gonna come anyway, and most likely I'm gonna be able to use it anyway, and it's also the fire meta, so I already committed on this. I'll just trust that Netmarble will improve the drop rate of the limit break materials once hard mode comes, so that I can also limit break the other unit. But since Soohyun is the most important unit right now in terms of DPS in the guild boss, I committed on this. And if when Kanai comes, she'll probably use this as well. That's gonna be it for Soohyun. And then for the light team, still pretty much the same. There's the stats: 36k defense, skills, 8-piece grid, these ones, or my old cores. And then Thomas Andre right here, 37.6k defense already. There you go. I think I adjusted these scores. Yeah, I used Songjinu's course on him for the critical hit damage. Yeah, for Team C, Hansami is just using Angel in White, going to Soohyun, of course, and then you reset, and then the course there, and then Libor here. Your damage is kind of low, but that's fine. 12k crit damage 20k, defense penetration, damage increase, dark damage there. There go, 2-piece toughness and 2-piece curse. And then for Choi, 28.7k attack and quite high defense penetration and damage increase. I don't have enough artifacts for Choi anymore, but it's still working fine. I'm using Black Lion set now. If I manage to get a good Black Lion set, his damage is gonna increase a lot. But right now, this is the only Black Lion set that I have. It's still not the optimal one. As you can see, it's still using crit damage here. And then for the cores, just using defense penetration here. Don't have extra fire core anymore. Alright, so now let's go ahead and check out the gameplay because I do have some tips that I can give you to help you get higher scores on your Soohyun. But before we do, I just want to let you guys know that Soohyun is a huge RNG unit. And the reason is that number one, she doesn't have enough crit rate for that consistent damage at 100% crit rate or close to 100% crit rate. And her damage mostly comes from that E skill or the second skill. And so a huge part of her damage output is gonna come from being able to synchronize that or time that properly with Moon Shadow and Shadow Step. Now that is a very hard thing to do here in the guild boss, but there are some ways that you can do to be able to get higher damage by taking advantage of her ultimate. And I'm gonna show you that one here in this replay as well. And also I'm now using manual controls just so that we can time Isil's ult during the break phase, which you're gonna see later as well. So let's start here, and not much has changed here, honestly, when it comes to the routine. So if you're using a DPS build, you have to spam Gina's ultimate, but Gina's ultimate is not something that's actually game-changing here. So even if you're using manual ult, you don't have to worry about like timing everything and doing everything perfectly like how we used to do it with Thomas Andre. Right, so as you can see here, I'm not using Soohyun's ultimate. I don't want to delay her in using the E skill if there is Moon Shadow and Shadow Step debuff. Right, so one thing that you can do, let me just go back there. So one thing that you can do when using Soohyun, there is still an RNG involved here, but at least this could help you time your E skill with Moon Shadow and Shadow Step, and that is by using her ultimate whenever you don't have a Moon Shadow debuff. Like here, I press the ultimate, and then what it does is that since she is casting her ultimate, there is no chance that she might cast that E skill because that's where the damage comes from. Even if it's not the second E skill, it's still much stronger than the ultimate. So what I do whenever there's a downtime where I don't have the MS debuff from the Shadow Step or the MS skill, I use the ultimate, so that afterwards, after using the ult, then the chances of her casting that E skill with Moon Shadow and Shadow Step is gonna be much higher. So take a look at this one. I cast the ultimate, and then I do have a Shadow Step here. I'm not sure, of course, whether or not she's casting that E skill, but it looks like she did because we got a lot of damage in. So that is one way there. Of course, it's hard to monitor the cooldown, but if you manage to do that, then you can at least lessen the RNG part here when it comes to synchronizing that E skill with the Moon Shadow and Shadow Step. So we got a huge damage output from that, and we're just gonna continue doing that every time there is an ult. If you feel like Soohyun already casted her E skill, then you can time the ult with the Moon Shadow. But if you don't know whether or not she still has an E skill or not, then you can try to delay her by casting the ultimate if you don't have a Moon Shadow or a Shadow Step ready yet to synergize with that. Alright, so here, most important part here is to use Isil's ultimate manually. Here we go. So that you can get 70 stacks of Prey of the Week. Because if you don't use them ultimate here, you're only gonna get up to 65 maximum. As you know, you're gonna get bonus stacks if your ultimate is ready. So I casted my Isil here, and then I'm gonna break it. So there is also an RNG factor involved here if Isil has an E skill or not, or the second skill. So luckily she got that, and we're gonna be able to get 70 stacks from here. Alright, so when it comes to Gina's ultimate, I usually don't pay much attention to it. I just try to use Soohyun's ultimate whenever I feel like she might cast an E skill and there is no Moon Shadow and Shadow Step. There you go, we got another solid hit from Soohyun there. And we're now at 10.5. There we go. Almost 11 million. Billion. 30 seconds remaining. So as you can see here, I'm trying to do that again. I pressed the ultimate, but it got delayed. Looks like she is using another skill. But still, I think we managed to get some good damage in with that Moon Shadow duration. And I mess up the MP recovery. Usually I don't like run out of MP, but seems like I did not pay much attention to Hansemi's fields as well as doing normal attacks. So right here, as you can see, I'm not sure if I made the correct decision here, but we are already running out of time. 10 seconds remaining. We're only at 12.8 billion. I just used the Moon Shadow. I didn't wait for the Shadow Step anymore because the reason is that at this point, the defense decrease effectiveness is like much lower because it's already Rage 21. And I kind of just used the Moon Shadow right away because I feel like it's been a long time already since we are dealing damage. We're already at 14 seconds and we're still not seeing that damage because at this point, the boss is already so tanky and the only damage that is going to be very, very noticeable here is Soohyun's damage, and Soohyun doesn't need the defense decrease as well. So I gambled on it, used the Moon Shadow here, still at 12.9 billion as you can see. And then Moon Shadow there. Luckily, we got the solid hit from Soohyun's second skill from there. Boom. And we got 1 billion damage at a span of like 7 seconds. Or that 6.4 billion. So usually I don't get 6 billion plus like this high, but I do know that using the ultimate to try and delay that E skill so that you can use it with Moon Shadow or Shadow Step generally will help majority of your runs compared to not doing that. And also Isil's 70 stacks after the break state is gonna be crucial. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope this video helped. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions or just leave any comment if you like this video. Thanks so much for watching and see you on the next one.